Hi everybody, Mischa here with Word of the Day. We're still alive and kicking here in Los Angeles. And the word of the day is termagant. There it is. Now, a termagant is a ranting, raging, overbearing, nasty, shrewish woman. She's a virago. She's a harpy. This is a very, very nasty word. Where does it come from? Oh, this is really interesting, you guys. It actually comes from the Middle Ages in France, in these works that were a French narrative that was written in a poetic form called the chanson de geste. And the most famous one is probably the Song of Roland, in which Charlemagne sends his boy Roland to fight the Saracens. And at that time, there was a basic misunderstanding about Islam in general. And the Christians had this idea that, among other things, Muslims worshipped a trinity, a triad of kind of evil demonic deities. And one of them was Termagant. Okay. Now, it retains that meaning when it comes into English in 1275 in the writing of a poet named Layamon. We only know him by that one name. It sticks with that until we're talking like early 1400s. Chaucer is still using the word this way in Canterbury Tales. But if you jump forward another 200 years to Shakespeare, and plays like Henry IV Part 1 and Hamlet, Shakespeare starts using termagant as a term, all the same meaning, except that it refers to a man. Now, in 1688, we get what we got right now in a play by Thomas Shadwell. And Thomas Shadwell is an old friend. We actually met his son, Charles, last week with another word. And he was a restoration playwright. Of course, he wrote a comedy, and one of his characters was Mrs. Termagant. And we have been using it to describe an overbearing, nasty, shrewish, ranting, raging woman ever since. So, how can we use it now? Well, let me give you like a 3-part story. How's that? Mrs. Smith's ranting and raging was heard by the whole neighborhood every night. She was a terrible termagant. Part 2, when Mr. Smith said to his wife, "You are a nagging termagant," she said, "I wouldn't have to nag you if you did it the first time, George." Okay? And finally, after George Smith divorced his termagant wife, because you can use it as an adjective also, he said, between the screaming and the criticism and the bossiness, I didn't have any peace. Find the woman that gives you peace and don't let her go. Okay, guys, that was Word of the Day, and I will see you tomorrow.